I got eggs for so we got yummy fish for dinner.
Okay.
I got another bag that I got to stick in that bag, and I got my sleeping bag that I got to stick on that bag.
All right, well, let's get your sleeping bag on the bag.
Okay, let's go.
This is the very first fishing mission for 2023, and this mission is going to be the most hardcore land-based fishing mission that I've ever been on, because we got big, heavy packs, and we are making a 3-hour walk into one of the most secluded land-based fishing spots in New Zealand, as far as I'm aware, and we're going to be camping there for the next 2 nights. Myself and Milan have a 3-hour drive ahead of us to get to where we are walking from, and then we will throw those big heavy packs onto our back and make the walk in.
What are we doing, Nato? We're too old.
It looks bigger on your back. Brother Hamish from NACL Lures and the land-based legend that is Ricky from our most recent land-based video. Alrighty, brother, let him loose.
Right. Third one.
That's Ricky 3, Milan zip.
Well, he got one earlier.
That was this morning, man. That's like a whole nother day.
Oh, man. He's got the mojo. You can't take the mojo.
Oh, I gotta be
Maybe I can. I rub it up off him.
Yeah, get his mojo, man. Both Hamish and Ricky, along with 2 other keen-as land-based anglers, are right now already walking into the spot that we are headed to. The plan, of course, being to meet up with those men by the end of the day. Hopefully they will have an awesome campsite picked out by then, where we can set up our tents, and then if we have time, we'll be going fishing. But me and Milan were talking yesterday, and both of us are in agreement that if all we do today is get to where we're going and get our tent set up, then I reckon we'll be doing pretty good. It is gonna be an all-day mission just to get to where we are camping. The weather forecast on this one isn't exactly favourable. We got some pretty high winds forecast, and not only do we have those high winds, but we're going to have to battle with dirty water, because we've had more rain in New Zealand at this time of year than any other year that I can ever remember in my little life. And that dirty water, I'm guessing, is going to make for some pretty hard fishing, but we will do our absolute best. It will be a ton of fun, and as always, we're going to be eating like kings, because I got a big load of venison to carry into our spot tonight. See you there. The boys never set out to break any land speed records on this one. All we had to do today was find Hamish and get to camp, and we took our sweet time doing that. What was said to be a 3-hour walk turned into a 5.5-hour walk, but I'd planned to film time lapses and put the drone up and just soak in the scenery on the way in today. So yeah, by the time we found Hamish and the boys, it had been 5.5 hours since we left the truck. But it is all good. We got here, set up our tent, and we don't have any mattresses with us. So me and Milan were running around like little pigs, pulling grass out of the ground and making nests underneath the tent so that we're as comfortable as we could possibly be tonight. And then once that was done, I was off on a time-lapse filming mission. And I've just spent the last couple hours hanging around in what can only be described as some absolutely stunning scenery, and got some awesome time lapses. Milan filmed a few time lapses, and yeah, just soaked the place in, really. BEAUT4. This place is amazing. when I got back to where the tents were all set up and come around the corner just here, there was a fire burning on the beach, and pretty soon Milan is going to stick a fry pan on that fire, and then in the fry pan will go some venison. Nato and his bow and arrow has already had a huge amount of success this year. 2 deer down.
Me.
So yeah, the boys are all in for a treat. We got venison steak for dinner tonight, and then I'd imagine it's going to be a pretty early night. We're going to get ourselves to bed. Hamish and the boys, as far as I know, were unlucky at this stage of the game, but right now they're out fishing and soon to return, so maybe they have seen some action, and I'll have some footage for you to brighten the place up a little bit. But until then, see you tomorrow, and hopefully the action will be red hot. Any luck, Hamish?
Really? Not yet, man.
Not yet?
Not going.
No donut?
No donut though. Got a little one, but nothing of note.
Who was I saying, is the fry pan going to be hot enough? Talk about eating like kings. Tastes better when it's shot with a bow and arrow, eh?
It's been hiked in for 5 hours.
Yeah, it's been well tenderised. Taste it, man. Yum.
Got the nod? Mean.
You need every drip of it, eh?
Yep. I refilled my bladder, one of the streams that down there.
Yeah.
There's a clean one that runs out of rock.
It's howling out there, Milan.
It is. The things we do to have fun.
It was a little bit of a struggle to get out of bed when the alarm clock went off, but I did get out of bed in time to see Hamish and the boys packing up their gear and them taking off. I then went up on the hill to film a sunrise, a time lapse of the sun coming up. Milan packed all his gear up, made himself coffee, and then he made me coffee when I got back to camp, and we've packed all our gear up. I've just spent a little bit of time packing all my gear up and organising all my gear, and I am right now talking to you. Milan's just left to go fishing off the point, and I'm about to go join him, and then after that we're going to head around the corner and find Hamish and the boys. So yeah, the boys have walked around to the spot where they caught a little fish at yesterday, and they seen a couple of bigger ones, but from what I am guessing, it's going to be pretty wild around there. The wind today, as I said at the start of this video, was forecast to be pretty crazy, but we're not going to let that deter us. We're going to do our best to catch a fish. Hamish, Ricky and the other boys I know are going to be pretty much Kingfish focused for the day, casting lures for Kingfish, but Milan has talked about getting a soft bait rod, and then me and him will walk the coast and see if we can pick up some snappers to eat for dinner. Well, see if we can pick up anything to eat for dinner, because as always, as long as I get to eat some fresh fish out in the wide open spaces, I don't think life can get any better. So yeah, I'm about to throw this pack on my back, go find Milan, go find Hamish and the boys, and it is going to be awesome. We found Hamish and the boys, and then I sat down and was like, oh, I'll put the drone up, get a bit of scenery and stuff like that before I start filming the boys. And then as soon as the drone went up, I looked over and Milan is already hooked up. So Hamish grabbed his phone and went and got a few shots of Milan's snapper, and I did my usual with the drone. And this place again is absolutely beautiful. It is a cameraman's dream. So now that that is done and you've got an idea of where we are and what we're doing, I'm going to go full Milan, because if he caught that fish on like 2 casts, I think his second cast he catches a solid snapper, then what's going to happen later today? I think it's going to be awesome. Other than the wind, it is full on. I'll do my best.
Just cast my lure back in and I pulled the hooks on another snapper. I think the snapper fishing's going to be pretty good.
It's pretty loud.
Yeah. Got it.
This will be the first time that I've ever seen anything other than a stickbait rod in Hamish's hand. He's seen Milan catch a big snapper and he's like, I want in!
Totally, man. So if what you want's a big kingfish, sometimes it pays to leave the snapper gear at home.
Definitely.
You might go home with nothing, but at least you didn't leave any stone unturned, right?
Yeah, that's Milan's motto. If you want to catch a kingfish, go kingy fishing and nothing else.
I didn't film any of this. I'm not a very good snapper fisherman, man.
Don't say that, man. I'm filming everything.
Cheers, brother. Got us a snapper for dinner.
You got a good snapper for dinner. Whoa!
That is my PB by a country mile.
That's the PB snapper off the rocks.
PB snapper off everything.
Really?
Yeah, bro. 100%. 100%.
Looks fine to me, bro.
Sick, man. Happy days.
He's hooked him. Woohoo! Milan just had a massive snapper up on his live bait. Oh! Milan just had a massive snapper up on his live bait, so Hamish cast a soft bait in, hooked him, and got dusted. You realise that was a new PB. That was like 2 PBs in the same day
Happy days, man.
on the same fish.
It's always good to be bested sometimes, eh?
Yeah, keep you humble, eh? Milan's live bait is a dead bait. It's going to cut that into 2 and try and catch a big snapper, the one that Hamish let go. That'll be good, eh?
Twice.
He let it go twice, Hamish.
Yeah, after I re-rigged it, got spanked again. I was like full lock from the start, and I just got blown away.
Yeah. Well, all in all, an awesome day fishing on the rocks. No big kingfish sighted, no big kingfish hooked, and no big kingfish landed. But Hamish did manage to catch the biggest snapper that he's ever caught, so that is something. Not only that, I watched Hamish just before pull snapper after snapper after snapper up, and we've got like 5 snappers to take back to camp to go and fillet, cook up on the open fire, and then fill our bellies. And I am really looking forward to that one. So we'll see you back at camp. And yeah, cool day. Well, the last couple of hours have been thoroughly enjoyed just hanging around camp. Put the drone up, filmed time lapses, had fresh snapper for lunch, cooked over an open fire, and basically just chilled out with the boys. It was very, very relaxing and very, very cool, although I've got to admit I'm feeling a little bit lethargic with a big belly full of snapper right now, but that is all good. Hamish, Ricky, Darius and Thomas have gone back down to where we were kingy fishing this morning, again this afternoon. Myself and Milan have decided to stay a little bit closer to camp, and Milan's just got a soft bait rod, and we're just going to walk across the sledge, cast out, see if we can't pick up a snapper or 2, and yeah, just relax, chill out and watch the sun go down, be out in the wide open spaces. Smiles from ear to ear. Get an early night because tomorrow we're up stupid early. Get camp all packed up. Then we want to be fishing at first light past where we were fishing today on the way back though, so that's a good thing. But yeah, myself and Milan won't fish for too long, and then we will put the hammer down and be headed home. It took us all day to get here yesterday, so I think it's going to pretty much take us all day to get home tomorrow. And by the time tomorrow is at an end, I reckon the boys will be about had it. But, as always, a ton of fun has been had, and some more fun is to be had yet. Bring it on. You did it, Milan.
I did it. Now I gotta get him up.
I see him. How are you going to land him here? You did it, Milan.
But there was a snapper on the coast for us.
Hit it again, Milan.
Better one this time. Come on, let's go.
Found them.
I found him.
Bottom fish. Is it a bigger one?
Yeah.
How much bigger?
Big.
Big?
I think so.
Fighting like a big one?
Yeah.
Woo! You've been losing some line.
Yeah. Lots of weight. The other ones didn't have the weight. Oh, look at the size of the thing.
Can you see them?
Yeah, now we've got to get it up.
It's better than the other places where you've been hooking them.
Yeah.
Oh, I see them.
That's the one we wanted, Nato.
That's the showstopper.
Not quite the showstopper, but the fish we wanted tonight. Just wanted to fish back to camp, and it was the last ledge with a little bit of current. It was worth the flick.
He's a beauty, mate.
Biggest one of the evening.
Biggest one of the evening. That it?
That's it, bro.
Had enough?
Voice is gone. Legs are gone. Might as well get some sleep so I can walk out tomorrow.
Yeah, my legs are feeling it, man. Look, Milan, for once I made breakfast.
You did. It was such a beautiful breakfast as well, bro.
She's a little bit simple.
Cuisine.
It's not that bad for like a 30 seconds cook time. Today started very much the same way as yesterday started. And that is when the alarm clock went off, the tent was getting blown around the place because the wind was not what the boys want. It was blowing a gale. But given the fact that we hadn't caught any big kingfish, where we'd been fishing all day yesterday, there was already pretty much a plan in place to get up, pack up, and put a couple of hours into walking and fish some spots on the way back. The walk out so far has been a whole lot easier than the walk in. I am 6 litres of water lighter. I'm a big container of venison lighter. I'm about 6 or 8 apples lighter. And I'll tell you what, it's made a big difference. But anyway, a fishing spot has been picked out, and Milan is right now casting a stick bait around down here right in front of me. We're going to do this for about an hour, and then if we haven't seen or caught a fish, or even if we have, then that will be the end of this video. Choo-choo, my brothers and sisters. Thank you all so very, very much for watching the Lateral Line. I think you're going to be seeing a lot of this style of show coming up, land-based missions, because Sojin has a new home. I'm about to put Sojin on a boat, and Sojin is on its way to Australia. to see good brother Ben. We did it, Milan.
Yeah, we did.
It's done.
That was a crazy trip. But it was fun, I'll give you that. It was an adventure.
It was an adventure.
Bring on the monsoon rains. What a year to build. Almost 12 months on and the rain is still pouring just like when we started. It's meant to be our dry season, and yet the clouds keep on dumping more and more rain. With the house ready for finishing, we had one more major job, and that was getting the floor level. We had 5 to 10 mils of variation over the floor, and we had to sand off the peaks so the timber floor could go down on a really flat surface. What was meant to be an easy job turned into a bit of a grind to the finish. While all the prep work was going on, Andre just kept on ticking those jobs off the list, and I had a lovely job of sorting out the living area of all the dust and debris for the ceiling of the floors. When you don't know building and it's your first time, you sometimes get blown away by the work that's required to get a job done. With the floor poured and looking level, I thought it would just be an easy clean, get the glue and start running string lines and laying floor. But first, we had to sand down all the high points. Then we had to fill all the low points. And then we had to put 2 coats of sealer over the entire floor, and then it was ready to go. With my jobs done, Andre was charging on with the ply linings. We were hoping we were going to have more timber panels for the walls, and we weren't 100% sure with wastage where we would end up. So with heaps of ply left over, we decided to line the art room with it, to make sure we had good amounts of timber for the main living area of the house. It's awesome watching the house starting to be finished. Each room gets more and more work done to it, and now places like the garage only need skirtings, cornice and battens over the joins to finally see it finished. I think from here on in, rooms will take shape quite quickly, and the house will come to an end. Meanwhile, it's time for me to go out, work out how to run a belt sander and planer, as I have a huge amount of work getting all the timber ready for the house.
The Lateral line is proudly brought to you by Violet Organic Foods.